need to make a plan. Camelot will soon figure out something's not right.
Don't fret. To the Dolriada, honor matters more than life itself. We gave you our word.
But do you realize that taking this temple was a terrible idea, right? It's just gonna speed up Camelot's intervention.
Taking the temple was inevitable.
Why? What do you mean? Are you trying to provoke Camelot into invading? Or are you just not like the All-Mother?
We believe in the same goddess, but we call her Mirror.
Well, that doesn't answer my question. What do you want? You don't look like you're from the tribes. How did you even get here?
Whoever he is, I cannot say he lacks courage. We do not usually take visitors, so he must have found a way to get here. Well, that seems to be a matter for the Horns of the South. I do not need to be involved. I trust you to know what should be shared, and what's best kept to yourself.
I don't know what kind of madness brought you here, flashing that pin, but my friend's right. You've got courage. So, tell me, who are you, and what do you need from me? Conspiring? Don't be absurd. That's such a poor word for something so beneficial. I don't see, however, why I need to explain myself to a stranger. And not a very sharp one at that. If you're wondering why the commander of the largest garrison in the south would want to make a deal with the most powerful military force since the Age of Legends. Ha! Good luck with that. Only King Arthur can wield Excalibur. Every fool on Avalon knows that. Caradoc. Well, that changes things. I had a feeling that pin you're waving around was his. Fine, yes. Every new captain gets a set of secrets passed down from his predecessor. And yes, one of those secrets is how to touch Excalibur and survive. But nothing in life is free, you know that. Do something for me, and I might consider sharing our greatest secret with you. Galahad the Pure is breathing down my neck, and I hate it when someone's breathing down my neck. Even worse, One Eye's men say he's already set up camp at our old stronghold in the west. Well, in theory, the Horns of the South should be on an equal footing with the Round Table, but that's just theory. In reality, they treat us like we're beneath them. They demand we supply them with food and protect the South, and all we get in return are threats that Galahad will be sent to put us in our place. I met him once, you know. He's no knight. He's a butcher. Bloody windfucker will fly from Camelot to the Horns just to hang half the garrison for whatever he himself will perceive as disobedience or treason. And I can assure you, there won't be any investigating when he arrives. Don't tell me you're that naive. Do you know how he earned the title The Pure? It's because he somehow got it into his thick skull that evil is everywhere, and the best way to deal with it is to burn it all away. So he goes round setting everything on fire. Sure, it's pure after that, because there's nothing left. Well, except for the charred corpses, but nobody in Camelot seems to care about those. My arse is purer than this guy, even after I take a huge dump. Oh, he's got a lot on his conscience. He leaves a trail of fire and ruins everywhere he goes. He keeps preaching that fire purifies all. Galahad doesn't bother with politics, because he doesn't have to. But from what I've heard, even Camelot's getting tired of him. Sometimes you've got to talk to people. No need to chase after them with a torch. You'll see soon enough how fanatical he is. Galahad's the last thing the Horns of the South need right now. Galahad needs to die, obviously. That'll solve most of our problems. We'll just say he had an unfortunate accident, you know, fell on a pitchfork or something, and sweep it under the rug. By then, we can continue our talks with the tribes, and by the time anyone from Camelot decides to act, it'll be too late. in theory, the Horns of the South should be on an equal footing with the Round Table, but that's just theory. In reality, they've been trying to suppress us. And the fact they're funding most of our operations, like building the new lighthouse for instance, doesn't exactly help things. I don't see any way out of this that doesn't end in open war between Camelot and the tribes. Not to mention, half of my men will probably end up burned at the stake for treason or some other drummed up charges. And I can't openly risk a coup. That would only make matters even more complicated. So, as you can see, you're the only one who can do this. The choice is yours. What's wrong with that? It's him or us. If we let him snoop around here any longer, he's going to uncover our plan to protect the South. And if that happens, trust me, you'll be going down with me. Yes, it's that simple. Just flash that pin to his guards. They'll let you in without a problem. And now, excuse me, I have things to do before the matter is settled.
Why is everything always such a hassle?
You are, finally! I've been searching everywhere for you. This is a matter of utmost importance. You simply must help me. My Duncan has gone missing, and if we don't find him soon, he might be in grave danger. Please, you have to find him. I can't possibly be a widow at my age. Mourning clothes are dreadfully unflattering on me. Oh, let me think. Just 2 days ago, or perhaps 3, I've been terribly occupied with redecorating the mansion and designing an entire new wardrobe for our extended stay in the south. Duncan and I never felt the need to be constantly together. In fact, we both find such behavior utterly gauche. A marriage is merely a contract after all. No need to romanticize it unnecessarily. Commoners, perhaps. People of my standing cannot afford to indulge in such frivolities. We have entire bloodlines and fortunes to consider. Some of these alliances span as far back as the homelands. Love is something to sing about at court, but marriage is a transaction. My mother instilled that in me when I was just a little girl with pigtails. Very fashionable ones, of course. Is it truly? I haven't noticed. Duncan and I have a perfectly agreeable union. We both understand what to expect from this marriage. Neither of us wants for anything. Oh, yes, of course. Someone delivered a ransom letter to the mansion. Quite absurd, really. Duncan is the one who handles all the finances. I'm not even sure where he keeps the money. And I certainly don't plan to lower myself to meet the demands of some lowlives. That's why I need you to retrieve my husband. He's not dead. Don't be ridiculous. They need him for the money, don't they? Honestly, must I do all the thinking? Marvelous. Here's the letter. All the details should be inside. Now, chop chop. There is no time to waste.
We may be in for a fight!
I should have guessed she'd hire you. I was hoping she'd notify the keepers and then just forget about me after a week or two. No, she doesn't! She's only interested in having a husband who fulfills her every need. In her eyes, our marriage is perfect. Or at least it's perfect for someone like her. Look, my parents had a loving, harmonious relationship. That's what I wanted for myself. But when that didn't happen, I chose to marry to improve my social standing, hoping love would eventually come. It never did. No, I haven't, because I know she's just not the right person for me. I don't love her, and she doesn't love me. And believe it or not, I think she deserves more than that. She just hasn't realized it yet. I cut off my finger, just in case someone did come looking. I hoped they'd find it and bring it to Alisa as proof that I was gone. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I guess I didn't think it all the way through. I wasn't expecting it to hurt so much. Clearly, I was considering making a deal with one of the local gangs to stage an actual kidnapping, but I thought better of it in the end. They're not exactly a trustworthy bunch. I didn't want to disappear forever, but I was afraid they might do their job a bit too well. Oh, you have no idea. I had to get away before Alisa drove me completely mad. There's never a moment of peace with that woman. I'm finished with her, with everything. I'm starting anew. Maybe in Timberwall, Farsha, anywhere really. She can do whatever she wants. Oh, please, you know my wife. She even dragged you into that entire debacle with the mansion. Now she has decided she wants to stay here, to leave Camelot, leave our entire life behind and move to the middle of nowhere. And I bet in 2 months she'll want to move again, maybe to the Forlorn Swords or somewhere equally absurd. I just can't take it anymore. I'm too old for this. I want a loving wife, a family, some damn stability at last. When I arrived in Camelot, I had money, but I lacked useful connections. The Mores were an old and well-respected family on the edge of financial ruin. Our interests were aligned. As for Alisa, she was young, beautiful, and, well, we barely spoke before the wedding. I thought it was their strict traditions, but really they probably didn't want her scaring me off. I hoped she'd settle down eventually, but these people, they're just different. All they care about is outdoing each other. Leaving a woman like Alisa isn't that simple. Her family would ruin me, and I provided them with the means to do so. Believe me, it was simpler to cut my losses, grab what money I could, and start over as far away from them as possible. Just tell her I'm dead, Say my body was eaten by bears or something. Please, if I go back, we'll just both end up miserable forever. Oh, come on. Fine. Here, take some of my savings. It's all I can offer without starving myself to death inside of a month. Just please be gentle when you tell her. And goodbye. I hope we never meet again.
but I see that you're alone. Surely a few mere bandits didn't outwit you. He's... What? But you promised to return with him. And the bandits, didn't they want money? And his body? Surely you didn't just leave him there. Oh, gods. That's dreadful. My poor Duncan. Do you think he assumed I wouldn't send anyone for him and attempted to escape on his own? He could be so foolish. Sometimes I felt as though he had absolutely no faith in me. What am I going to do now? Returning to Camelot will be utterly insufferable. Indeed, losing one's husband to bandits in the untamed South does have a certain novel tragedy compared to, say, a hunting accident. Even so, dealing with all those insincere well-wishers who secretly delight in my misfortune is utterly tiresome. I shall miss the simplicity we had here, fleeting as it was. This is a nightmare! Ugh. I should begin packing, and something must be done about this house. Goodness, I don't even know where to begin. Would you like it? I could part with it for 500 gold coins. Does that sound reasonable for a house? Do they? Ugh, this is dreadful. I'm not cut out for such mundane concerns. You can have the house. Just take it off my hands. I don't wish to trouble myself with it any longer. Well, and thank you, I suppose, for not taking advantage of a freshly widowed young woman. Stay? And engage in what, precisely? Have you not observed that I lack what one might call practical skills? Aside from my impeccable taste in fashion, that is. I suppose I could open a dressmaking parlor, but where would I even get the materials? Not to mention clientele. Really? That would be absolutely marvelous. Well then, I guess I'll think about your offer. Now, would you be so kind as to excuse me? I must begin organizing Duncan's belongings. Indeed. Thank you ever so much. You must forgive me, but I need some... envisioned many futures for myself, but this... this was never one of them. Give me time. Yes? What about him? Well, to be perfectly honest, I believe I do. I never anticipated that I would, but his absence does indeed bother me sometimes. You know, I always thought we lived rather separate lives, yet now I sense a certain emptiness around me at times. I find it quite unnerving, I must say. Gods, no. At least, I don't believe so. He was a respectable husband, certainly. But, well, love and marriage are two distinctly separate matters, and only one holds value for a woman in my position. Indeed, but let us not forget, I still bear the esteemed Moray name. My social standing hasn't ceased to exist just because I moved to the south. And what of it, anyway? I'm recently widowed. It would be quite unseemly to commence a search for a new husband so soon. Let me see. Not entirely dreadful. The fabric is almost decent, although the cut is terribly outdated. Whoever wore this must have been near destitute, or just stole it off someone else's corpse, I suppose. Regardless, it presents a fascinating challenge. Thank you for this. Here, a token for your troubles. Oh, you. That's terribly kind of you, truly, but I simply cannot accept it. You are, after all, most likely risking your life to get these for me. Or, well, if not your life, then at least your health and personal hygiene, I suppose. So, regardless of your feelings on the matter, I insist on compensating you adequately. But still, thank you. Surprisingly, no. I thought I would miss the parties, the bustling social scene, my family. But I don't, not really. Camelot was always so stifling. I hardly had a moment to myself. I feared the quiet and isolation here might unnerve me, yet it's been quite the contrary. Moreover, I found our conversations, albeit brief, to be far more sincere than years of superficial chatter with my so-called friends. Oh, trust me, I find plenty of excitement here. The creative kind, of course. Since, well, truth be told, I hardly ever leave the house. It's starting to feel rather stifling, but I haven't yet mustered the courage to go outside and explore. Splendid! This piece is indeed intriguing. Although, I must confess, I was secretly hoping for something with a bit more flair. All my current designs feel tragically mundane, and I've nothing in the house I could use to adorn them. Well, given that we're in the South, it may sound somewhat trite, but I have developed quite a fondness for marine-inspired motifs. I could start with some seashells, perhaps. Not too many, perhaps 12 or so. I'm not certain yet. I'll need to give it more thought.